Welcome to Martini Time. It's been a cold Sunday here in Blackstone, Virginia, where my Jedi cave, where I hide out so nobody will find me. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. And at the center of the world, everyone, you are all the center of the world. And this gives me the energy I need to do this talk. But there are other ways I get the energy to do the talk. One of them is that I've started not relying on my cell phone clock and my 10-minute timer, but to wind my father's clock. You see that there? That's backwards, of course, but this is my father's clock that he got when he graduated from Annapolis, and so I wind this now so I'm talking in my father's time. Isn't that a neat idea? You know, I don't wear this. I don't carry this around. And it's been restored, so it keeps good time. But you have to wind it. You have to manually wind the time. It's not like a digital clock or electric clock. It's manual time. You have to put your hands on it, you see. You have to create the time. So I'm creating time with this. And I put this down, and I'll keep an eye on it so I don't talk too long. Title of this talk is The Zen of a Kennedy $50. Now, I just went in my room and found this. I had these, my uncle had left his son a couple of silver dollars that were mint silver dollars and a Kennedy $50. And I had forgotten about that, and I looked in my little box where I kept the stuff, and here it is. It's mint condition. It's still got all the ridges on it. I don't know what it's worth or not. But it's a Kennedy $50. It was minted in 1964. Okay, I guess that was after his death. And this morning I was talking about on Facebook that I wanted to share with you what I call my cotton ball talks. In other words, here's a cotton ball. And for me, this is a metaphor for a seed idea. I get an idea. So it comes up on Facebook. It maybe in my own everyday life, but it's an idea that is potent, like a cotton ball. You see, this is a potent metaphor. This cotton will make a cloth, you see. This will make clothes. But first you have to pull it apart. And you have to watch out because it's really sharp. I mean, I can't imagine having to pull cotton all day because your hands must be bleeding from these thorns. They're really sharp and hard, you see. And then you got to pull the seed out so you can pull the cotton ball apart and see through it and make something out of it. So this is an idea, a seed idea. And in Zen, this seed idea is kind of like a hot iron ball that you can't swallow and can't cough up. Just sticks there and it wants you to look into it. It won't let you sleep. It won't let you put it down. It wants to reveal itself. It wants you to go into it, inquire into it with like a Sherlock, with a non-judgmental or a prejudgmental mind. What is it? What is it? I want to know. Reveal it to me. Reveal your essence to me, we say to these ideas. You don't put them away, bury them, say, it's nothing, you know. Let me get to more important stuff like going somewhere. You see, no. These ideas, these seed ideas are treasures. So the idea today was I was talking about a coin. All right. Now if you notice the coin has heads and tails. So this is so common. We use it all the time to decide complications or decide events that are tied. Even the Virginia Congress was tied, so they flipped a coin to see who would be the number one. You flip the coin to find when you got an ambiguity where you have both sides are equal. Each has its own frame of reference, its own logic, and they stand alone. with equal value, but they're mutually dependent, like the heads and the tails on a coin. So you can't choose. You can't find the one, see? You can't find the one who is going to be president, the one who is going to run the Senate, the one idea that you're going to follow, the one that you're going to believe in and invest in, you see, when you have a heads and a tails. Because they're both, and you can't remove one without the other. I mean, you can't get rid of the heads in order to have tails. You can't shoot it. You can't erase it. You can't put acid on it. You can't. It's mutually dependent. If you kill the tails, you kill the heads. This is, so I found this to be a fascinating metaphor for the conflict going on today in the metaphysical realm. Let's put it that way, between in religion and in spirituality on what's the one, what is non-dual, what is enlightenment, what is Jesus, what is salvation, what is the promised land. All these ones that we want to get to, the promised land, the lost paradise, salvation, enlightenment, the self-realization. All of these things are basically ideas, words, that are representing this invisible, unknown promised land. And even promised land is just a word. So you have to keep erasing these words in order to get to this emptiness that we want to get to, this mysterious wholeness, this feeling of being, I need to be something to be completed. I need a new relationship, a job. I need a new car. I need something that will complete. I need a donut. Or I need a martini. You see this? So when we have this desire for the one, it's a desire to be completed and a desire to end the desire. So, just getting back, if I can, let me get back to our coin here. So the coin is, first of all, a whole coin. It's the one. You say, give me a coin. Here's the one. Right? Here's the one coin. But then the coin comes with two sides. Now, in psychology, spirituality, in Zen, in everything, there are two sides to the one mind. So you're one, but there are two sides to you. But you have to be careful here. So one side of you is I, me. I want that. I'm this. I feel that. I know it's raining. I know I'm stupid. I know I'm smart. I, you see. But that's understood. So when I say it's raining, I don't say I know it's raining. That's assumed. Now, now let's get back to the coin. The head is the I that knows. The tail is the it. It's raining. I look out. Well, yeah, I see it. I see raining. Yes, you're right. You know it's raining. Now I know it's raining. Or I say, this is a coin. I'll say, I know it's a coin. Right? I say, I know it. I don't have to say. I say, it's a coin. We just remove the I. We just erase it. The heads, we see. So we live in a tails world. A tail word is an it. Everything that we see, I know it's raining, I know I'm in a room, I know I'm talking on Facebook, all of these are its. I'm looking at a camera, it's an it. I imagine you there, you're an it. You see. I see myself talking here, I'm an it. I look around the room and there's an it everywhere. Here, cotton ball, this is it. You see? So when I get into the metaphor, then everything's a tail. Where's the head? Now, I'm an it talking to you as an it, but at the same time, I'm a heads. I'm an I. I'm an I before an it. At least I think. Does the it come out of me? Am I an it? There are two tails? Or is there heads and a tail? So there's an I am, and then I know it. So I, as the knower, I know it. And then the it is fill in the blank. I know Satori. I know Zen. These are all, I know the promised land. That's an it. It's a word. It's an idea. It's an it. It's an abstraction, you see. So all these its, all these tails, you see, and then I want to know something. I want to be smart. So I just learn more its. Or if I'm in a position where there are two equal its, well, I flip the coin and come up with, okay, it's it. This is it. But all of the head is missing. You don't flip the coin to see the head. Which head are we going to use? We don't flip that because the head is the knower that knows both sides. The head is the knower that knows the it as something and knows myself as an it. You see, there's two its. I know myself as an it talking to you, and I know you're there as an it, you see. But the head that knows is missing from this, you see. So I can't flip an it to get to the head. We never get to the head. And that's what's missing. We don't get to the head. The knower is left out of everything. It's not on the map. We either get to it by logical reduction, logic, we get to it, or we get to it through warfare, we get to it, or we get through it through competition. I won, I'm it, you see. So we're always struggling to get to it, you see. But what's missing is the heads. So the head, getting back to our metaphor here, is the whole coin. The head, or the knower, is the whole coin. So as the whole coin, I know the head and the tails. I know myself as an it. I'm here, I got a name, I got a history, I got qualities. I look in the mirror and say, oh, I know who you are. You're it. See, I know you. See, it is like an abstract or an algebraic blank, like C is it, So you just, what is C? Well, everything is fill in. You fill in the blank, you see. So it is a way of just shortcutting, having to name something. So, you see, the head, the I that knows externally an object, and it knows itself as a subject. But the I that knows is not on the map, because the maps, either science or psychology, well, psychology is a science. You have maps of the its. Like if I want to know what humanity is, and I study humanity through all the different sciences, you see, I'm studying humanity as an it. Now, if I want to study myself, you see, I might take psychology, but that's still an it. I'm still studying its, you see. The knower is not in those two sciences, you see. So if I want to study the Noah, I have a friend named Noah. If I want to study the knower, I would go to Buddhism. Or maybe Advaita yoga, you see. Now that's the study of the knower. However, we even turn that into the study of its, you see. So we even miss it there, you see. So we can't study the knower because it's not an it. Yet in order to know it, I have to turn it into an it. So I keep double binding myself, you see. I keep creating a trap. Oh, damn, I'm just back doing the same thing, you see. I never can find out who the knower is because the knower is not an it. And we only know its. So I can't know the knower. And yet the knower's there. I know I'm here. I know I'm talking to you. You know you're listening to me. That's understood. So the coin, you see, the whole coin, both sides, is the knower. But we live in a two-sided world. Subject and object. They both rise together. When I see the coin as an it, the seer, the subject, me, rises and it sees an it. So you get this heads and tail rising together. Subject, it. Now I'm not aware of anything else in this room when I'm looking at this coin as an it. But you might say, well, that's an interesting cotton ball behind you. Oh. And I look at that and I say, oh, you mean this? It? Now, I've forgotten this. Now this is it. And then you say, no, no, no. I mean that cross up there, that's it. And I say, oh, that's it? Now the subject, me, and I, and it have risen, and I have forgotten the cotton ball. And I've long forgotten this as an it, you see. So I'm kind of like a flashlight running around, picking up, oh, you mean this? You mean this? You mean this? What it are you talking about? Oh, you mean this. You see, this it. Now I'm looking at that, you see. So the objects keep popping up in consciousness, rising up with an I, a subject that's seeing the it, you see. And that's the way our mind works. And it's necessary. As people say, oh, you got to get rid of the ego. You got to get rid of it. No, no, no. You can't get rid of that because then you'd be psychotic. You couldn't catch a bus. You couldn't communicate. You wouldn't know what it is. Nobody. You'd be flooded in an immeasurable sea of its, you see, and that's psychosis. There's no me there. There's no center. So the center, the subject that sees the it, you see, is part of the game, the operating system. But the operating system doesn't include the whole coin, just like the operating system on the computer doesn't include the hard drive. The operating system can't see the hard drive. And in fact, if you try to fix the operating system, you can't do it within the operating system. You've got to open it up from another operation, another hard drive. The operating system can't fix itself, you see. So the coins, when you get caught in an oscillation between the heads and the tails, wah, 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 wah. I can't find the knower. I can't find the knower. I can't find the knower, you see. Wah, 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 wah. You see, that feedback loop that happens when you get in a double bind, or what we call a dilemma. A dilemma is when the subject can't find the it. What do you mean? Which it? Which it? I can't choose the its, you see. It's like Hurt Locker. You can't choose which cereal box to choose. I don't know. There are too many choices. Too many its. So anyway, this is a great metaphor because it gives me a way. It's a good metaphor for me. It gives me a way for getting a hold on, to hold this abstract problem of who am I? I am not the subject, and the knower is who I am. I am the knower. Then what do I know? Well, I know that I know something, that's a subject, and I know what I know, that's an it. So the knower, you see, the whole coin, is both the heads and the tails at the same time. But that's ambiguous. That's not logical. That's not the Cartesian grill of Descartes. It's not a clear and distinct idea. You're either Cartesian grid, not abstract, it's science. I mean, the reality map that we live in is that truth is clear and distinct its. And then you have to find it by reducing all of the stuff that it's not. So you get down to what is it we're talking about here? Get down to that. Get down to it, you can't reduce it anymore, you see. The irreducible it. So this coin is an irreducible it. This is a it. It's not a piece of jade and an it at the same time. This is a piece of jade. This is a coin. Clear and distinct idea. But when we get to looking for the knower, we're saying that the coin and the jade are the same thing with two different faces, The head and the tail is the same coin with two different faces. But you can't see clear and see it. You can't know it with a clear idea. So you can't know it as an it. So this is why Buddhism and these paths that we're on is about awakening. It's the awakening of the whole coin to the truth that it is both I and it. So I am I and you are it, but at the same time, I know the knower is awakened, and the I and the it references the whole coin instead of the heads, instead of the subject, which is the me as an ego. Instead of my ego being it, you see, the knower realizes that the ego is just the opposite face of the it. Now, this is really hard to get a hold of because it's not rational. So we'll just have to leave it there. Maybe we can pick this up. I'm always kicking the same can down the road. I'm just looking at it from different perspectives. I'm always looking at the same thing from different cotton balls, from different ideas. And these ideas come to me during the day when I'm writing on Facebook, and I may play with them there, you see, and then I come here and have a martini and try and explain it or share it to you, and hopefully in some way that will not explain a theory that explains everything, but just a stimulation to make your knower awake, to stimulate your knower to wake up. And if your knower wakes up, then I as the knower and you as the knower are one. There's only one knower. There's only one knower. There's just a billion its. Thanks for dropping in.